Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the St. Joseph County Public Library series, Everyday Heroes. Today, I have a very special guest to talk with today. We have Mr. Wayne Hubbard, who is part of the Fix It Forward program and massive, unbelievably useful relief efforts, not only for the Southeast neighborhood, not just for South Bend, but for all the surrounding areas as well. How are you, Mr. Wayne?
I'm a little tired, but I'm doing okay.
Oh gosh, yeah, I imagine you guys been busy.
Yes, ma'am.
We are so excited to have you on our show today, and thank you so much for taking the time. So, kind of tell our viewers, what are you currently doing in the community that we should know about?
What we're currently doing in the community is trying to provide relief, as much as relief as possible, by bridging those that do have with those that don't have. And we're kind of vesseling the support because in a lot of ways, I mean, we could talk about it all day. People are losing jobs. People are stuck at home. Nobody can move. There's a lot of frustrations, tensions in the air. That mixed with financial stress, it's causing a lot of breakups. It's causing a lot of issues. Parents becoming single. It's creating a lot of issues. And we're trying to be there for everybody and kind of big brother everybody through this.
Honestly, it's an insane situation, especially with a lot of places kind of closing up. Now,
Yes,
as
ma'am.
folks are closing up, what sort of resources are you offering to your community at this time?
We've done hygiene items, whether it be regular like toiletries, shampoos, conditioners, to feminine products, care package boxes with food, animal food. We've home repairs that won't put anybody at risk. There are small vehicle repairs that won't put anybody at risk. Anything that we can do. Me personally, I believe that everybody is somebody's prayer answered, and I don't have to spend my life knowing what you know if I can trust you with what you know, and if it's a likewise and mutual thing. And so you never know what somebody next to you is capable of doing. And so we've created quite an entity that's just helping people.
Yeah, and I know you guys have really been going above and beyond in your group, not only taking donations for all these different places, but soliciting donations from bigger organizations and even delivering these items to people who may not be able to come out and use them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so what have been kind of the reactions from people as you're dropping off items?
Overall, we're getting pretty good feedback. Um, I think it's definitely inspired people to step up. In moments like these, we really learn who we are as a community and as individuals. And it's really a make or break thing, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because we all have our own wars that we're going through silently. And while trying to combat this publicly, it creates quite quite a battle.
And I know you've been doing a lot of this work kind of on your own independently, not, doing a lot of sleep. I know you were sick and down and out for a little bit there too, where you had to take a break, where you kind of overworking yourself a bit. But you have got help with a little bit of volunteers. You know how many folks have kind of volunteered to chip in with this, whether donating food or helping you deliver items?
We've got a lot of donors. We have a lot of people that are trying to help, but we have to make sure that the people that we're allowing to help us practice safe hygiene and have a safe mentality. And so it's like because we don't want to be counterproductive towards the purpose. The dream ultimately is to build something that can help anybody with anything, anywhere, anytime. And so the right people have to be able to help. If we have elderly that want to help deliver stuff, I obviously can't allow that to happen because I mean they're at risk. It's great. I love the thought that that woke up inside of them. I love it, but they're at risk. I'd rather be helping them. I I hope they keep the same energy for when this is over. I believe a lot of them will, so I think it'll be okay. It's a curse that ended up being a blessing, and so the stronger we get, the more we'll be able to help.
And I know you guys have been doing some special events as well. There was a really big Easter giveaway program you guys did just recently.
Yes,
Would
ma'am.
you want to talk a little bit about that?
Um, when it came to Easter, at first, before COVID had come up, we were planning on doing the Easter where we were going to pick one church at each side of towns because like the type of things that the city does really doesn't reach below the poverty line. And so we wanted to take the small gifts, the toys, the candy to these separate churches. So that way the people could be drawn to what a church used to be about. And I understand that Easter wasn't about toys and stuff like that, but that's what the kids are listening to because that's what they've been taught to keep themselves entertained with while both parents are at work. And so using that to bring them back to a good nature area, I thought it was a good idea, but then COVID hit and everything crushed around me. Was this event canceled, that event canceled, the city was canceling everything, everybody was canceling everything. And I had to take a second and realize, because at first I was heartbroken about it, because that's a lot of kids that wasn't going to get help. And I had to think about it for a second. I was like, okay, when your environment gets mean, you got to get meaner. And I was like, you know what? We'll take Easter to them. And that's what we did.
I like that, taking Easter to them and everything. Do you know about
Yeah.
how many items you dropped off for folks altogether, or how many stops you made kind of be in the Easter bunny?
That's our number one. That's like one of our number one things we stand by, is we do not keep track of how many people that we've helped. But I can tell you it's in the hundreds.
Oh, wow.
I can tell you that.
Very impressive.
Sure. Like I'm very, very certain of that. Like, I know that much. I know that.
Now, I know you guys have been really good with partnering with different businesses and different community organizations to provide all these materials for people for free in the neighborhood. What kind of community partners are you working with?
It really just depends on what it is that we're reaching out towards doing. It's just got to fit in their lane. We've received help from Farmers Market to provide people with fresh veggies and fruits, and we'll be talking to them here soon. Again, to go after making another round. We partnered with Frank Julian, which is a lawyer for Julian and Sweeney, or Sweeney and Julian. Christopher Spatero, who's running for judge in Elkhart, a great man, a great family man who really cared. And him alone helped us with over 100 baskets. I think that a lot of people stood up. And while I was focused, because it was not just me, I have a team. And the team manages what's put in place and implements what's put in place. And without them, like people like Brandy, which is the head end, this wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't have been able to do this. But they held it down for me. Like they had my back while I was able to venture out and find funding. And so it was a huge team effort. And you had people like Michael Kaiser, you had people like Jeremy Baker, Liana Ridgway, Tessa Davis, Sydney. There's just so many. It's like there was a lot of help given, and a lot of people came in together to make this possible. And all it took was for people to care. For some reason, all it took was for hope, and we gave it, and they took it, and they gave it, and now it's just a cycle. And so we just keep going.
It sounds like you have an amazing team. If members from the community kind of see this video and they want to help out you and your group for doing what you do, what sort of help can they give? What kind of resources can they donate?
We prefer for people to be able to there's a Facebook group called We Are Our Relief. There's also a Facebook called Fixing It Forward in Michiana. And you can go to these groups and just see a need, fill a need. And it's just where the community kind of regulates itself. And so if you see an item that you have, or you have surplus of, or that you can go purchase yourself, we prefer not to take money. But if you have the money and you can't go get the item because you're at high risk, we'll go get it for you and deliver it for you and send a picture that it was delivered and a picture of the receipt. We just try to keep everything above table and going forward, so that way we don't have reasons to look back and have regrets.
Oh, that sounds absolutely fantastic. And I'll make sure to include the links to this video as well down below. So if anyone wants to contact William Hubbard or his group, the Fix It Forward or the We Are Our Relief, you would be able to message him or post directly into that group, correct? To be able to talk with you about what they can provide?
That's great.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I have one last question for you today. Are there any kind words you would like to share with your community today?
This is definitely a moment to stay home as much as possible. Definitely appreciate your families. The number one regret that I have out of because this is just for the COVID relief. There's so many things that I've done over the last year, because I got started last year, April 11th, 2019. There's so many things. My number one regret is not going home. And that's what I'm currently suffering from right now is consequences from my actions. And so to the men out there, I really hope that y'all appreciate your wives, girlfriends, the mother of your children, and you stay home. And the same thing likewise to the mothers. This is a great time to be home. Your kids can play outside. You guys can enjoy each other. This is a great time to do that.
Well, we certainly all definitely appreciate you, and we appreciate you visiting folks' homes and drop things off to their porches. They don't have to venture out, especially for folks that don't have the transportation, they don't have the resources. You've been an amazing help that folks all have.
We're right here. Whenever they need help, we'll be right here.
Thank you so much for taking the time to kind of talk with me today. What you guys are doing are amazing. Thank you again so much for your time, Mr. Wayne.
No problem. You have a great day.